has been the targeting and racism against Muslim Americans throughout the United States of America.
She was more like a drama queen on a doodle screen. I pay no mind, but what do you mean? She's a congresswoman. She's AOC, she's bubblehead #1.
For the racism and incitement of violence against...
Without a doubt, she's just dumb. She's AOC, she's bubblehead #1.
women of color in this body.
She told me her name was AOC as she looked at me, and heavy head turned in disbelief at this congresswoman. She's AOC, she's bubblehead #1.
I had a member of the Republican caucus threaten my life.
And people always told me, be careful how you vote. Don't go around voting for those Democrats. Ooh. And Mama always told me, be careful how you choose. If you vote for Democrats, then your freedoms you will lose.
And you all and the Republican caucus rewarded him.
Not a congresswoman. She's just a bubblehead that thinks that she has a clue. But she smells just like doo-doo. Yes, she does. She thinks she has a clue. But she smells like she's wearing a boo-boo suit. Before we get to this video, make sure you hit like, share my videos, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Also, make sure that your notifications are on and they're set to all. Now, let's get into this. So there y'all have it, ladies and gentlemen. AOC is back after the spectacle that we watched the other day up there in Congress, where she flipped out and turned into a black preacher, Southern Baptist preacher or something. I don't know what she was doing. A whole bunch of arms flailing and stuff. What happened to the Latino accent? See, all of these things seem to come out depending on what environment she's in. You know, if she's talking to black people, she's like, you know what, ain't nothing wrong with being a bartender. And then when she's around Latino, she's like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, papi? What is that, man? Sounds like you're adaptable. It sounds like you might just be a panderer, or another word, fake, phony, and all of that stuff. So she's back in the news, y'all. And let's go ahead and see if we can catch her in the act of hypocrisy and propaganda. Dang on it. So here she is the other day on the floor whining about racism and sexism and xenophobia, and her life is being threatened and stuff. So let's go ahead and see how valid this speech was and see how sincere it was. Here we go. Okay.
I had a member of the Republican caucus threaten my life, and you all and the Republican caucus rewarded him.
Wait a minute. Is that the member? Is that the member she's talking about? I don't know. She looks pretty friendly with her threatener right there. I mean, that guy right there. You're telling me as you sit there. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. So could it be a show? Because I don't know about you. Anybody threaten my life, I'm not sitting there chewing a fat like that. See? So I'm wondering if she was telling the truth or she using that for propaganda.
Because I didn't get a single apology.
Time has expired.
My life was threatened.
Get her out of
Thank
here.
you.
You better watch how you act, young lady. Don't be hitting stuff. You didn't pay for that. Dang on it. Now, so I wanted to get you guys caught up to how she acts, her performances and her drama and all that stuff. But she's not just a drama queen and a doodoo queen. She also is a propagandist. Now, I want you to listen to her latest take on working amongst Republicans. Now, these are the most dangerous type of statements that you can say. These are some serious Marxist tactics. These are the type of tactics that you would use for McCarthyism, where the whole goal is to label your opposition as traitors, dangerous to democracy, trying to overthrow the government, they're insurrectionists, and all of that stuff. To be called a traitor or to be called a domestic terrorist is a serious accusation. But these Democrats, they just sling it out there all over the place. So here she is being interviewed by someone who allows her to vomit up all of this green stuff on the mic without being contested. So let's check out her latest snafu.
I think it's uncomfortable serving with people who engage in what many experts deem stochastic terrorism, which is the incitement of violence in a which is an incitement of violence using digital means and large platforms so that individual themselves may not be the one that's wielding a weapon.
Now, did y'all hear that? Now, understand what she's doing. There's a lot packed in there, right? Now, I'm sure she didn't come up with this diabolical scheme and narrative all by herself. I'm pretty sure this is across the board because we've been hearing a lot of Democrats start using this type of rhetoric. What they're saying is that Republicans that do not fall in line with the narrative that all those folks on January 6th was insurrectionists and they should be jailed forever. Donald Trump absolutely sparked off the insurrection and he's responsible. And of course, there was no fraudulent activities, no reason to question the 2020 elections. And if you do, then you're undermining our democracy and you're pretty much a terrorist and spreading dis and misinformation. Now, they understand the number one threat to all of their power, their lies and manipulation is social media. So they want all of these folks to target anybody who speaks out against their propaganda. What they're trying to do is label every Republican politician, every conservative that exposes this garbage as dangerous. You're putting people in jeopardy. You're making me feel scared. So she's saying that there are people in Congress that she fears working with and somehow is able to tie those people to what they say on social media and apparently trying to make a connection that these people who use social media to expose their lies is really encouraging all of these just completely brain dead Trump supporters who are just waiting for Marjorie Taylor Greene and Trump and all of them, Jim Jordan, to just download information into our heads so we can just go buck wild. So we can just go crazy and start rioting and tearing up stuff. Which brings me to the other point, that it's not us doing that. It's not even us out there spreading all of this propaganda. We're not out there talking about everybody's a racist, white nationalist, xenophobe, homophobe, insurrectionist. We're not out there doing that. We're out here trying to mind our own business, but when we see something that appears to be a bit suspicious and speak up about it, that's when they come out and make it appear that we started these fights. Make it appear that it was us who just imagined all of those people boarding up windows during the 2020 election while people were trying to observe them. Yeah, see, it's just us who just imagined that down there in Atlanta when the voter booth just shut down and all of a sudden they spent the night just swiping all night. We imagined that. We imagined it. It was us who imagined all of these suspicious activities that took place that created the suspicion that we all have. We don't go around making stuff up. They do. We don't go around making stuff up and then demonizing and projecting it onto our political enemies. We don't use all of these fake narratives to bludgeon our enemies, to label them as whatever. However, as we witness it and observe their behavior, then we can accurately assign some definitions and terms to their behavior. For example, these are Marxist tactics. She's the one who declares she's a democratic socialist, and it's coming out. This is what a socialist regime would do. They will come out and say, we want control of speech. We want any means of communication, media. We want control of that. We want more censorship. And to do it, we're going to simply tell the bubbleheads in our society that these people are dangerous. These people are using these platforms for some evil purposes to spread lies and dis and misinformation. And it's drumming up all of this anger and contention within our society as we witness people on the left committing all types of attacks and assaults on police, on citizens, burning down stuff, shooting folks, flipping over cars, harassing folks. We're not out there doing this. As we witness these people grabbing microphones like Nancy Pelosi and saying, I don't know why there isn't uprisings all over the country, and who knows, maybe there will be. We're not out there doing that. We're not out there like Mad Max talking about if you see anybody, and I mean anybody, in a grocery store or a gas station or the movies, you get up in their face and say, you're not welcome. It's not us. It's not us who's out there like crying Chuck Schumer talking about, listen up, Gorsuch. Listen up, Kavanaugh. You released the whirlwind. We're not out there doing that. It's them. Yeah, it's their people who are out there killing folks who they think was an extremist, like the young man who got killed a couple weeks back, and they didn't come out and say anything. Yeah, it's them who inspired this type of behavior, like with Steve Scalise, guy coming out shooting folks. Yeah, it's them who inspired that. But even though we know it's them doing it and they're projecting it onto us, we still do not hold these people accountable for individuals' behaviors. But they do. So when Trump said, walk over to the Capitol and let your voices peacefully be heard, and then mysteriously some young people, along with that Bigfoot, Ray Epps, just decided to get into a rugby pushing match with those police officers who gave the minimum amount of resistance. Yeah, after that, and those people went in, we didn't blame them. We didn't say, you know what? Those people made choices because of things that you said. And we don't come out and say, now we're afraid for our life because you called us all white nationalists. You called us all extremists. You called us all racist. It doesn't matter if we're black. It doesn't matter if we're Latino. Whatever your race is, it doesn't matter. You're still a white nationalist. You're a xenophobe, a homophobe, and all the phobes that they can come up with. We don't go around saying, you know what, you're trying to threaten my life and all of that stuff. So this is the tactics that come out of them, as she uses this Marxist socialist tactic to try to put pressure on social media platforms to do more censorship towards us and also real Republicans, not rhinos, real Republicans, because the rhinos probably would support that. But the real Republicans would not kowtow to these people and buy into these fake behind narratives that Trump is a racist and that anybody who disagreed with the details that took place on J6 or in 2020, yeah, they're insurrectionists. They're insurrectionists. They need to be silenced. That's their tactics. And that is also why she is labeled Bubblehead #1. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. Hey, check out my backup channel. I'm putting a link in the bottom of this video so you can go ahead and subscribe. I want to get to 1,000 ASAP. Help a brother out. Go over there and click it. If you want to support my channel, you can. My PayPal and my Cash App is below. Check out all my podcasts. Check out me on Rumble. All those other alternatives. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all that good stuff. Also, hit that like button, share my videos, and when you subscribe, make sure your notification button is turned to all, because YouTube will not give you a notification. I found that out. They are on my back, probably because of something she said about me. Now, God bless y'all. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care.